Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video and a very exciting video. For today's video I have kind of dressed up, and the thing is I don't really know why, because this is nothing special, but I have really been looking forward to doing this video and doing something very different and something that I have been getting more into in the past month and the weeks really, and it's another creative thing. So if you don't know me, I usually tend to hop from like creative hobby and I have done that my whole life. So this new hobby that I have found is creating book covers and designing book covers. I was really inspired by It's Divya G here on YouTube, and I can link her channel below in the description. She has this making a trashy YA or romance or thriller novel where she look at the trends of the cover designs and she tries to make something very similar. And it's a whole series on her channel, and I have been watching like every single one of them, and I find them really inspiring and really fun. But in this video I'm not going to design any book. I'm going to design my own book. A book that is not even maybe going to be published ever. Maybe it's just for me. I don't really know yet. So I made a couple of book covers for my own book, and the genre is horror. So if you're here for the writing stuff, I can link the first writing blog where I talk about this project in one of these corners, and also in the description below. I can link all of the videos of this project below if you want to watch them instead of watching this video, but I hope that you will enjoy this video anyway. So let's get into the book designing, but I just want to add about what the book is about. It's a novella, so it's currently at 21 or 20,000 words, and it's going to be longer than that, hopefully 30,000 words. But right now it's at that point. It's following a girl that has been growing up with her uncle or an older man. I haven't really decided if he's like blood related, but she has been growing up with this man, and she has been neglected as a child and has grown up in this very harsh environment, and she has also been taught about the occult and the dark side of the world and everything that is hidden from plain sight but that they can see, she and her uncle. And we get to see her with her girlfriend Ines when they're going on a trip to the mountains, in a cabin in the mountains together. But then there's a lot of things happening, and the main character has to struggle with her steadfast belief in logic and in science that she has kept as a kind of defense mechanism because of her past. It's about that, and the title is Röd Hunger in Swedish, and it's translated into Red Hunger in English. I'm not good at titles, so this may very well change in the future, but I wanted that boom title, like 2 words, really short words, nothing like elaborate or poetic or something like that, because I can't do that. So Red Hunger is the name, and on these covers there will be the Swedish name, so you will get to see how you spell red in Swedish. Hunger is the same, but anyway. I began looking at other horror covers, and I looked for the minimalistic horror covers. So we have a lot of like black and white, red, minimalistic, like one thing in the middle, oftentimes illustrated or with one picture. And here I begin with putting in the title, because I knew that I wanted to have the title big and in the center, and it would be the first thing that you would see and read. So the title is big. And I'm just beginning here with putting in red, and I need to say that the first cover you will see here is not the one that I will talk about later. So the first idea was for the trees to be over red, and then a stag would be put over hunger, so that you would see the antlers of the stag integrate with the title. And here you can see how it looked, and I quickly deleted that because it did not work. So here we get into the cover that I ended up with in the end. So I changed for the trees to be on hunger instead of red. So that was the first like quick thing that I did, and then I knew that I wanted to have mountains on the cover because this book takes place in the mountains. And so here I'm searching in Canva for a mountain line that would look great. And here you can't really see that much, but I changed up the cover to be, or the backdrop to be white, and so that the red and the black will pop, and that the mountain will look better against the backdrop, I guess. But I love what I did here with the trees, because I think it looks really nice that the trees are the same color as the mountain, and that integrates into hunger. And here I'm just playing around with colors and what I should do. Another mountain, and I really like this is just detail, but I really like how the red is behind the mountain. So if you would put a meaning to that, maybe red is like the sunrise, and maybe you will have to survive until sunrise, maybe. Maybe that's just me creating this cover and thinking about that. I don't think anyone seeing this will actually think that. But here I'm playing around if I should have like some cracks on the red, or I think I also look on snow, or is that... I think that's later on in another design. But yeah, snow, splashes of color, blood, no, it didn't work, as you can see. But I'm really happy with this cover, and here's the final result. So here is what the first cover turned out to be, and I actually think that this is my favorite cover. It feels the most original, but I wanted to have the red and I wanted to have the white and black, that contrast in this cover. Also, I'm holding my computer to look at it. And with the forest and the mountain, because this is where the book takes place. The only thing that I didn't really like about this is that it doesn't really reflect the story that well. Because when you see the color red on the cover with the red mountain and the red trees coming over hunger, your mind might go to like a forest on fire, or yeah, you know, fire. And that is not what this book is about. And so I don't want you to think about fire, but rather like red as a feeling. Anger, frustration, hate, demons and blood, and you know, that kind of stuff. I don't think this cover represents the book that well, but I still really like it. Then I did a similar cover to that where the mountain is gone, but instead of the mountain there is a tree line that is the mountain. And again, we have the trees coming over hunger, and I really like that, you know, the layering and the feeling of the trees like growing into the title. You know, the cover and the illustration working with the title and the text. I'm not a professional designer, I might just add, even though I kind of feel very professional with this outfit on, but that's not the case. And then instead of having a lot of black on the cover, I chose to have a lot of white. It is inspired by one of the Star Wars movie posters. I can put up a picture here of that. And I need to add that the first 4 covers, I believe, is all made in Canva. It's a free website where you can design like Instagram posts. I make my thumbnails on Canva, for example. They have a lot of free features, and this is all free. Like everything that I used on this is free. So with that said, let's get into the next cover. For this next cover, I wanted something really old school, and because of some events in my book and mythology that I have in my book, there is teeth involved. So I wanted to have it on the cover, but it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. So I'm not really that happy with this cover. I feel like, yeah, teeth does represent something in my story, as well as it connects to the hunger theme in my title. But this cover looks so old school in my opinion, and this font doesn't really go with the vibe of the cover, so maybe I would have changed the font to like Creepster or something that is very old school horror vibe. And then I did another one very similar to it that I don't have to show right now, but that is when the teeth are above and below the title, so the title is in between the teeth. And I like this better than the first one, but at the same time it looks really old school, and I got the pictures for the teeth off of Google, so I wanted to add that as well. But not really happy with this cover. So let's get into the next covers, which I actually made on Procreate on my iPad. Don't come for me, they are not that great, but let's get into the design process. My idea for this was to have the stag be the focus, because I was really inspired by another cover that I will talk about in a sec, but it did not turn out that well, and I quickly abandoned ship. So yes, the first one. I did not finish this one. I was really inspired by a book that's called Only the Good Indians, or The Only Good Indians. I believe it's also a horror novel. I can put up a picture here. It has this black backdrop, and then it has a deer stag on the cover, and I really like that look. So I tried to make this myself. This was a fail. Here you can also see that I tried to make the horns integrate with the text, and that is how I got into the next idea that I had for this cover. Now we come to the cover that I actually found really fun and exciting, and I was really inspired by making this cover. It was a bit of a hackle trying to fit all these horn or antler pieces together, because as you can see they are not from the same photo, and like there's different photos that I have just cropped and put together to look like it's all one antler thing. So it was a bit of a task doing that, but I really enjoyed the final look, and I think they kind of look like the same antlers. Maybe not the ones in the like bottom middle. They don't really look like they fit together, but here I'm just doing some shadows, trying to blend in more with the background. And here I'm putting in Red Hunger, the title, and I'm trying really hard to make the title integrate with the antlers because I really like that look. And I tried finding blood splatters, snow, didn't work. And I'm actually really happy with this cover. It is very inspired by All the Good Indians with the black backdrop and the horns. But it's still quite different, like it is not the same stag on the cover, and it is more about the horns than the actual stag. And I really like how the horns integrated with the text and like twisted. And as you could see on the process of making this, there are actually quite a few different horn pieces that I put together, and I tried to make it look like they were all like one type of horn. But as you can see on this cover, the text doesn't look as it is in the middle, and this is because my placement of the horns. I believe the text is in the middle. It was a bit difficult with the snapping in Procreate. It didn't really feel right. Because of my placement of the horns, it doesn't look like it's in the middle, and that's what I don't like about it. But this is still a bit too similar to All the Good Indians, so I tried something very different. And as you can see here, I changed it up. I changed the backdrop to be the color white and the text to be red. And the problem that I have with this cover is that now you can really see how bad the horns are, or the antlers, sorry. You can really see that it is kind of trashy, this cover. I also don't like how the whiteness kind of looks pink because of the red, but I did this because I wanted to have an option that was very different from All the Good Indians. So you win some, you lose some. And that is really all that I have for this video. I really enjoyed this process, and I have the feeling that I want to do something like this again. The thing that with this book is that it was really easy to design it. If I would do this, for example, God's Wrath and Ruin, my debut book, it would look a bit different because I have a clear idea of how I want the cover to look like, but with the tools that I now have in Canva and Procreate, I can't make it look great. So maybe I'll do something like this in the future, maybe not. But I also want to add that this was just a fun idea and a fun thing for me to do in my spare time, to just brainstorm some book designs or book cover designs, and then I wanted to show it to you. So let me know in the comments which of these you thought were the best. Was it the very contrasted first two covers, or was it the kind of old school, maybe a bit trashy cover with the teeth, or was it with the horns? Let me know in the comments. I think my favorite one was either the first two or the black with the horns. But I'm sad to say that it probably is too similar to All the Good Indians, so that will probably not work out. But it was still very fun doing this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave a like and a comment below. Let me know, like I said, what cover was your favorite. And let me know if you want to see this kind of video again. Like I said, I'm not a good designer, but I want to get better at that. So maybe leave some tips if you have one in the comments below. And subscribe, because I post a new video every week, every Thursday. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!